and welcome back to the most amazing top 10 channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 cursed games you should never play. Before we get into this video, what is your favourite game? I love me Catan, I also like chess, and I also really like The Sims. I don't know if you guys watched our live stream a couple weeks ago. I don't like Slender Man. It's terrifying. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this video. Alright, cursed games. Coming in at number 10, we have Charlie Charlie. So the Charlie Charlie challenge is adapted from a Spanish paper and pencil game called Jungo de la Persia, the pencil game. I probably murdered that Spanish. Basically, the premise of the game is to balance pencils on top of one another with no and yes written in the squares. Teenagers then call upon an alleged Mexican demon called Charlie. Players of the game say something like, "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" The pencil then moves and people freak out. Why do the pencils move? Clearly because a demon has been summoned, not because of friction and gravity. There are a lot of videos of people playing the Charlie Charlie game, and it almost always ends with screaming and running. Many YouTubers find themselves doing the challenge, and they've garnered millions of views. Is it real? Well, according to Mexican historians, there is no demon called Charlie. But I don't know, any game that encourages summoning a demon makes me feel pretty sketchy. Coming in at number 9, we have Sad Satan. Sad Satan is allegedly a cursed video game found on the dark web. YouTube channel Obscure Horror Corner lived up to their name when they shared a scary screenplay of the game on their YouTube channel, and honestly, it looks really intense. To be honest, it also sounds pretty intense, and I don't like that. The player is walking down a dark alley and horrible radio signals start coming through. During the gameplay, from time to time, a blank screen would appear with strange markings. Reddit users decoded the font and said that it was saying things like kill, 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 and I can track you. Finally, at the end of the game, it cuts to a black screen in which the phrase "suffering doesn't end" appears. Great! So basically, this doesn't sound too good to me. I'll probably give playing this one a solid miss. Coming in at number 8, we have The Three Kings. I first heard about The Three Kings when I investigated the No Sleep subreddit, and apparently it is actually a very popular game these days. To be honest, popular or not, I don't like the sound of it. No, no, no. What you need to play the game is a large room, preferably a basement with no light source. You're supposed to set up this space with 2 full-length mirrors, 3 chairs, and an item from your childhood. Once you're done with the setup, you're supposed to go to bed and set your alarm for 3:30 AM. At exactly 3:30, you're supposed to then get up. Now, you can only play if when you go back to the large room you prepared, nothing has changed. If anything has moved or changed, this is a warning not to play that evening. You must sit in one of the 3 chairs at exactly 3:33 AM with a candle lit. Once seated, you've got to look straight ahead into the darkness and never look into the mirrors or the candle. At this point, you should see or hear a presence. Some people say that you'll begin to have a conversation with a king, a queen, or a fool. It's complicated, but apparently when playing this game it is possible to get stuck in an alternate dimension, because sure. Coming into number 7, we have Midnight Man. According to a creepypasta I read, the Midnight Man game dates back to an old pagan ritual and essentially is a game to summon a spirit. The game is played by a person writing their name on a piece of paper, pricking their finger to produce a small drop of blood on the paper, lighting a candle and taping the paper with your name on it to a wooden door. Now, the door has to be wooden. Timing is important in this game. You have to knock on the door 22 times, with the last knock coming at the stroke of midnight. The person then opens the door, blows out the candle, closes the door, and relights the candle quickly. This apparently means that the Midnight Man is now in your house. Your job is to then avoid being caught by the Midnight Man, who will scare you until 3:33 AM. Sounds like all of the fun I'd rather not be having. Coming in at number 6, we have POLYBIUS. POLYBIUS is a legendary arcade game, and nobody knows if stories about it are true or simply the stuff of gaming urban legend. The story seems to have emerged in the year 2000 in Portland, Oregon, and suggests some kind of government conspiracy. Basically, the story goes that a black box arcade game started showing up in arcades across the city. Now, the game didn't have any branding, it was simply black and mysterious, but people were intrigued and played it anyway. The game seemed to involve geometric patterns and eye-wateringly bright, colourful shapes. It seemed like the game was hypnotizing people, making them sick, or in some cases, even making them disappear. After gamers played, men in black suits were seen servicing the machine, which led to rumors that it was part of the CIA's MK Ultra mind control pursuits. Storytellers named the game POLYBIUS after a Greek historian who said that you should never report what you can't verify. Whether or not the story is true, it has become part of pop culture, with The Simpsons placing a POLYBIUS machine in the background of a scene in 2006. Would you guys play it? Let me know. Coming in at number 5, we have Pokemon's Lavender Town. Pokemon has a lot of wildly popular games, but did you know that part of Pokemon Red and Green might be cursed? The music that plays in Lavender Town in the game not only matches the weirdly trippy purple graphics, but allegedly sparked an alarming number of child suicides in Japan. The music is undoubtedly spooky. Horror blog Bloody Disgusting hailed it as one of the most terrifying childhood memories for gamers. In terms of the music, the chords are very jarring, but I have to say, it is weirdly calm. Whatever is going on, like even if it's cursed or not, I don't really want to listen to that music for very long. It kind of gets inside your brain. According to a creepypasta that surfaced in 2010, the music compelled over 100 Japanese children to kill themselves, leaving others with weird behavioral outbursts. Others suffered simple things like nosebleeds and headaches. Either way, I don't like it. This whole phenomenon became known as Lavender Town Syndrome. So the legend may have some scientific truth. Apparently the high-pitched binaural beats tapped into the brains of children in a way that could affect their moods. It seems that Pokemon themselves were even worried. They've re-recorded the music for the 2017 Pokemon Go Halloween special, so maybe Pokemon bosses were trying to lift the curse, or maybe they fancied something new. I love a good board game, but you would not catch me playing with an Ouija board anytime soon. Now that's coming in at number 4. Ouija boards are totally messed up. I'm sure you know what they are, but for those of you that don't, it's a board with letters of the alphabet on it, as well as yes and no in the top corners, numbers, the words goodbye, and assorted symbols and graphics surrounding the board. Now the board is used to communicate with spirits, although it originated as an American parlor game. Some spiritual believers will tell you that playing with an Ouija board to contact the dead can lead to demonic possessions, which doesn't sound ideal. Ooh, maybe we should do the top 10 scary Ouija board stories. I'm so down for that. Coming into number 3, we have a classic game. We've got Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary is a quintessential game from our childhoods, but that doesn't mean I'd recommend playing it ever. Is it kids just freaking each other out, or is it a cursed game? Bloody Mary is said to appear in a mirror when her name is chanted. Now back in old folklore, the ritual was used to show a woman a glimpse of their future husband's face, although if they saw the Grim Reaper instead of their husband, it would mean that they would likely die before they got the chance to marry. In modern times, the legend goes that if you summon Bloody Mary, she will scratch out your eyes, steal your soul, drink your blood, or at the very least scream at you. There is a similar game legend called Hanako-san in Japan. Speaking of Japan, next up you should never play Hitori Kakurunbo. This is coming in at number 2, and this is basically a Japanese hide and seek game, but you play it alone, or alone with a spirit. So what you need to play this game is a stuffed animal with arms and legs. It has to have a name, for example, Twinkle. Sadly, you cut Twinkle open, removing all of the stuffing and replacing it with rice and some fingernail clippings. Yum. You then sew up Twinkle back again, wrapping the leftover thread around the toy's body. You then put the stuffed toy in the bath and say, for the first game, I am going to be it. Then you close your eyes, count to 10, then you're supposed to stab the toy and say I won. Still with me? You then announce that the toy is going to be it next, and you go and hide. For some reason, it's very important that you hide with a glass of salt water, and if you feel scared, you have to put some of that salt water in your mouth. When the game is over and the toy hasn't found you in an hour or over, you go back, spit the salt water on the toy, and burn it. Sounds like a lot of hassle to me, and to be honest, I'd rather play Catan. Finally, coming into number 1, I would never ever recommend going anywhere near this game, we have Blue Whale. Blue Whale is an awful social media game that seemed to originate in 2016 and encourages players to induce self-harm and later commit suicide, which horrendous. This so-called game takes place over 50 days, with each day a new challenge. The game was linked to 130 teenage deaths in Russia alone, with one girl, 15-year-old Yulia Konstantinov, posting a picture of a blue whale on her Instagram before jumping to her death. This spate of deaths were not just in Russia alone. Countries across the world have reported deaths of young ones as a result of this sick game. So guys, that was the top 10 cursed games you should never play. Have any of you ever played one of these games? I certainly hope not. Please don't, ever. Stick to what you love, like chess, or The Sims, or even Fortnite if that's your jam. Games without demons. Okay, so before I go, I just want to read some quick comments from the top 10 scary demons caught on camera. Virgil van Dijk said, "It's only a matter of time before you guys hit 5 million subs. Woo! We're here for it, then halfway to 10 mil. The world domination." Shout out to Angie Fitzpatrick's kid. She wrote, "My boy is 5 and we love watching you and Danny. I turn it on when he hears your voice and he always yells, 'Mummy Becca Felgate,' no matter where he is." Aww. He also calls Danny Daddy Burke because Danny is also the name of his father. I mean, there we go. So shout out to you, kid. Happy watching. Yay! If you guys want to leave a comment on this video letting me know which of these cursed games scares you the most, then you may have a chance of being read out in one of my future videos. For now, I'm gonna get out of here and just, chill out, not play any cursed games today. Nothing to see here. If you like this video, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay subscribed for more most amazing lists. Bye!